Creative Mind students, and welcome to Module 6. I'm going to talk about what you're going to be doing this week and assignments that are due. We're going to talk about advocacy and costs. So we've talked about a lot of social problems, and now we're going to talk about how we can advocate and what are the costs to our systems. So for your Module 6 creative assignment, you're going to do a mock political speech. Okay, so you need to read Chapter 1 in this Sociology OpenStax book. Read over this. What is advocacy? Watch this lecture, the cost and advocacy lecture. Watch this video. And then you're going to do a 3 to 5 minute video addressing as follows. So pretending like you're an elected official for your town or city. Someone last term did actually like wore a tie for this. You don't have to do that. I just thought it was really funny. Formulate a stance on whether or not policy changes can eradicate poverty and addiction in your town. Write and then record yourself giving a pretend address to your constituents, the people in your town or city, explaining your stance and giving reasons and examples why you are right. Speech should be 3 to 5 minutes in length. Make sure to include the following. What is your stance? Yes, policy change can eradicate poverty and addiction, or no, it can't. Whose job is it to make change in a community, in a state, in a country? Include why. Where does personal responsibility and policy change meet? Include how both and how and why. Reference at least 2 of the above sources. Okay, so you shouldn't have to go looking for external sources. You have them right up here. Textbook, the lecture, what have you. So that's a video presentation. Okay, so a reminder that your initial discussion board post is due Thursday, and that you have to summarize, well, you don't have to, but to earn full points, you have to summarize your peers' responses at the end of the week to get full points. So this, you're going to read the materials from this mock political speech advocacy page. That go there. Okay, oh, you're reviewing the materials from the last assignment, reading part 8 of Rosalie's story, which I hope you are enjoying, or at least find interesting. And then you're going to write a response that addresses the following prompts. The last article in the series about Rosalie finds Patty in jail on murder charges, spoiler alert, and Rosalie's HIV progressing. What are some of the costs that Rosalie and her family have suffered? How do these costs affect her community? Reference at least one of the sources from the mock political speech advocacy page. So the one we just reviewed, maybe your sociology textbook, maybe the lecture. What policies or laws may have helped Rosalie? Okay, so that's your discussion board. And then your reflection, as per usual, 300-word reflection, 300 or more, 3 things you've learned from the module, and demonstrate an application of the module content to the real world. Okay, so you only have 3 assignments this week because your annotated bibliography is due this week. Okay, so you were put in groups with another person in pairs, and you have a social issue, and some of the directions say, you know, arguing pro and con. You don't have to do that. Just so that you and your partner have maybe a different aspect. So maybe one of you is going to do financial costs, and one of you do emotional costs. One of you do the people that this social problem affects, and maybe someone does like, how do we solve it? What are some legislation that's coming through? So just so you're not doing the exact same, you're presenting on the same topic, but just so you're not doing the exact same presentation. So however you break it up is fine with me. And then with your annotated bibliography, just as a reminder that you are doing your own sources. Okay, so you have to have 3 sources, 2 or 3 that are scholarly, so 2 that are peer-reviewed, academic journal, 1 source that is a government source, .gov, which, you know, some of those are getting kind of blocked right now. Analyze 3 sources. 2 to 3 sources that are least biased. Okay. And if you do an extra, if you do like a 4th source, you can do whatever. You could do an interview, you could do a YouTube video, you could do something else. You just have to do 2 that are scholarly, 1 that is governmental, And email me if you have any, like if you don't have a government source, but you have something that's government adjacent, like maybe a nonprofit. There'll be some other things that I would potentially accept. Yeah. So you're going to write up your annotated bibliography. As a reminder, when you're doing an annotated bibliography, you're doing the source and then a paragraph about the source below it. And just so you're not just recopying the abstract, just, you're telling me a little bit about, in case, I would want to check out the source, you're kind of like selling me the source. Like, here's what it was about. They did this study. Here was the outcomes, etc., etc. Making sure that you are listing your annotated bib alphabetically by author and using the APA format. And then here's something. So letting me know if you're reaching out to your partners and, if you're getting responses from them. Like I said, you can do this recording yourself. I know it's hard in an asynchronous class to do group work, so I'm just asking that you try to collaborate and at least get different sources than your partner and, have a different presentation. And, you'll record it yourself and upload it yourself, and you'll be rated on yourself. So no problems there. Great. Have a good day.